Another way that we can create a giving culture in our farm is just by showing people we care, by giving them events or items that it's easier for people to give and to care when they have a model and they see that sometimes we're just doing stuff to give back, that we're just doing stuff to help. One way that we do that is a shred event, and then I'll add in here the medicine slash pill slash drug collection, and I'll add in here the fire life safety event with police and fire, where you do like a child seat check, Identikid. That's where they get the kids fingerprints and give them a little ID card with their picture, bike registration. These are all things that you can tie into the same event. You can spread them out into different events. The shred event, honestly, we priced it out. We didn't use the people that we actually used to do shred in our office because we found another guy that would come out for cheaper, and it was a few $100 for them to bring out the truck that has a shredder built into it. And we just put out, I've got a flyer I'll show you here in just a second, what we told everybody, but 2 boxes maximum per family, we tell them, because otherwise one family will fill up the truck. Now, the truck, we found out it'll stay there for a couple hours or until it's full. And it's crazy. The sides bulge out, and that's how you know it's full, because they just feed this stuff into the shredder, and it just goes into the back of the truck. And we asked for food donations. So we asked for canned food. We ended up with, it was a half ton from a shred event, half ton of food. People just kept bringing the food. And so we had to make a special trip. It did not fit in my truck. We did have to use the moving truck to bring all the food over the food bank, which was great. But we were able to connect with a lot of people. Not a great opportunity for lengthy conversations because the vehicles are coming in. It was quite popular, and people are coming in, and it was our intention to have them get out of their car, talk to them, give them some resources and stuff like that. And it became something that we just had to move people through. There were people that stopped and had conversation, but a lot of people just came through. But it was in our parking lot. It was in, with our brand. We're all wearing branded stuff. They're exposed to it. They were able to get rid of their shred stuff and continue on. Now, as far as we go into the medicine, that is something that we're working with the police department to add to our next shred event. So the police department will do these drug drop-off events where this is not an opportunity to bring your illegal drugs. This is your opportunity to bring expired prescription drugs. If dad died, we can bring those all his prescription drugs. We don't want people to flush them because it stays in the water supply. And so, this gives us an opportunity to tell people that as well. Don't flush your meds because even though everything gets processed, it stays in the water supply. And so we don't want to do that. We don't want them to put them in the trash either because the druggies will go. They go through seniors' trash cans hoping to get pills, and so basically the police department sends over a sworn officer that then intakes all of this stuff, so everything's done legally. But it's just an extra layer that we're able to add on to say, hey, we're doing this to keep the drugs out of the hands of people that don't need them. And then bringing the fire department, police department along, inviting them, hey, can you guys bring a police car? Can you bring a fire truck? And if it's a fire truck, generally, if they get a call, they're going to have to leave. But the police officer is generally going to be able to be there. Sometimes they'll send a volunteer but you can have the police car there with the lights, and people can play with the sirens, that kind of thing. People like that. You can work with the fire department or the police department to have a child seat check, where people can bring their child drive through. They'll check and make sure that the child car seat is installed correctly. so that kids aren't getting hurt. The Identikid I mentioned, and bike registration. The police department will come in and engrave an identifying number on the bike, so if it ever gets stolen and recovered, the kid can know that that's their bike. So these are little things. It's a nice event. It gets you out with the people, and they go, wow, that's pretty cool that they're doing this. Another thing that we've done, now this is something, and I'll show you an example of that in just a minute, but the water watcher. So we have a lot of heat, which means that we share it's one of the worst distinctions you can have, and we share that with the state of Florida, the two states with the highest child drowning rates. And it's something that we want to see change. And so this was back in, I think, 2012 that we started our Water Watcher program. We went and we created these lanyard and tags that say Water Watcher. I'll show you an example of them in just a second. And we give them away for free every year. The idea is if you are if you're having a party or you're having kids over or you're doing something, that some adult needs to be watching the pool at all times. Because a lot of these child drownings, there's other kids in the pool, there's adults around, the kid goes down, nobody notices, right? So we want to have an adult watching the pool at all times. And so the idea of the Water Watcher is that adults, if you're having a party or something like that, the adults can take shifts, a 10, 20-minute shift where they're the Water Watcher. And so we created this Water Watcher lanyard so that you put it on, you're watching the pool, your time is up, you hand it off to somebody else. And the idea is just we're going to help kids be safe. And so we created these Water Watcher tags, and we printed off, I think we probably did about 1,000 of them. And we got 1,000 lanyards because we did it based on the lanyards. That was where we got the best cost. And so we just printed them on yellow paper, laminated them, and put them with lanyards, put them in a drawer. And that was in 2012. And so each year we do a story in the spring that you can come pick up your Water Watcher tags. People come by, they pick them up. This is great what you're doing. We're still working off of that same number of Water Watcher tags from 2012. And so the cost was so minimal. We've been able to have this as a way that everybody's saying, hey, you guys care. It's hopefully, I'm thinking we've probably saved at least one or two kids' lives, I'm hoping. And it just continues at pretty much no cost. So this is what we had put out for the shred day. Come on over 9 a.m. to noon or until the truck is full. Limit 2 boxes per household. Suggested donation, canned food. And we did that and got like half a ton of food. So that was pretty cool. Here's the Water Watcher tag. One side, it just explains what's going on. I'm not going to leave the water area without finding an adult to replace me. It has 911 on there. For some reason, it has our logo on both sides. And gives some safe tips, a link to safe tips. And then on the back, it has basic life support. We did the compression only rules because that's what that actually came from Mesa Fire Department, by the way. That was the agency that tested that out. And now that's the standard is compression only, and one breath and then compressions from that point on. So it's the easiest way to do CPR. We put the instructions there on the back, and then of course the lanyard says klausteam.com. And so we've been working off this for a long time. So that's just different ways that you can show that you care.